SQL stands for Structured Query English Language, and that's exactly what it means. It's a programming language that's similar to English for querying structured data. The very first thing that you need to understand about SQL queries is that almost all SQL queries begin with a select statement, which looks something like this, right? And what are we doing here? We are querying for selecting column 1 and 2 from a table, right? And this is where you specify the table name. So in this case, we are asking the query to pull column 1 and column 2 from this table. Now imagine that you wanted to select all the columns from this table, so you need not write all the column names in here, and you can just mention something like select star from table, and that will bring you all the columns within the table with all its rows. Now let's take it a step further and understand how we can select some columns and also select specific rows and not all the rows that we want to pull from the table. So that would go something like select column 1, column 2 from table, and then we say limit 5. And what this is going to do, it's going to basically bring back 5 rows from the table, but not any of the rows after those 5 rows. But you probably don't want any 5 rows from the table, and you want some rhyme and rhythm to it. So what you could do is, let's say you had a column called sales, and that's one of the columns that you want to pull. And say you also had a column named products.
And you had A, B, C, D, E, and F, products.
Right? Now, let's say you wanted to pull from this table the top 5 product by most sales. So what you could do in this situation is, first of all, you update the column names to pull from product and sales column, and then you say order by sales, since we're trying to pull the top 5 sales, and then we mention descending because remember we are trying to pull the top 5 sales. So we say order by sales descending, and then we say limit 5. And what that's going to do is that it's going to give you products and sales. So we are looking at columns products and sales. These are the 2 columns that you get in the resultant set. Then you're saying from this specific table and order it by sales in descending order. So what it's going to do is it's going to order it something like
900, 700, and 100.
And then you're telling it to limit the resultant set only to the first 5 rows. So this query will basically take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And your resultant set would look something like this, where you have the top 5 products ordered by descending order of sales. But let's say you wanted to define an advanced condition by which you decide which rows get pulled from the table. So for that, we would use something called the where statement, which helps you define exactly what kind of rows you would like to pull into your resultant set. And in this example, you can specify a condition like where sales is greater than 300. And what it's going to give you, it's going to give you these 3 rows as the resultant set because they're greater than 300.